Welcome back to Media Week. Radio advertising revenue has closed in on $700 million for metro markets in the 2014 financial year. And that came as the latest radio ratings survey results were released. Media Week's James Manning still with us, of course, and here to take us through the news. So, James, in terms of ad dollars, we're looking at $700 million, but big improvements on the east and the west of Australia.
Perth was the biggest market to lift, up 4.4%. Sydney next best, 2.3%, but that's $700 million. Roughly 400 of that split between Sydney and Melbourne, just over $200 million each.
Walk us through some of the capital city ratings results as well. I guess we can probably start in Sydney.
Yeah, look, 2GB still number one there. WSFM, look, ARN still having a blinder this year so far. They can't put a foot wrong. WSFM a clear leader now, 10.2, up 1%. Jonesy and Amanda had another great survey. They're just all over it. You think that it's got to swing back at some stage, but just so far this year they're just on fire.
In Melbourne, it seems like a kind of a bit of a dip there for Gold.
Yeah, Gold came back to the pack. It's a very tight race down there, so they share top spot with Triple M now. So, but there's all 6 FM radio stations down there are within a point of each other. So, you know, one good survey and you can just push ahead. Okay. So it's a very tight race.
And whip through Brisbane, Adelaide and Perth for us as well.
Yeah, look, ARN's still well in control, 97.3, just miles ahead of the competition up there. Nova fell back a bit in the pack there.
And there's Adelaide.
Adelaide, yeah. ARN still mixed, doing very well there. Bit of a pickup for Triple M. The total figure doesn't show up, but their breakfast, new breakfast show there, it started launching. It launched pretty well for them, so it could be the forerunner for some turnaround in the future.
Great, and finally you got Perth there.
Perth, yeah, look, Southern Cross is it's the one market they continue to control. Southern Cross Ocero, mixed 94.5, doing very well there. The new breakfast show and Drive, they're both doing very well.
Let's go to TV, have a bit of a chat about the latest in TV. This is really interesting, the bidding for the Olympics, fairly lacklustre. Oh, no, we're going to do TV ratings first. All right, let's go TV ratings, then we'll have a TV chat.
You're in charge.
That's fine. I am in charge, which is the worry. TV ratings, The Voice Kids, 60 Minutes, House Rules.
Yeah, Voice Kids holding up very nicely there. Penultimate week of House Rules that was. Yeah, still doing fantastic business. And as Ian Hogg said, X Factor coming into the schedule this week, so it'll fill some of the gaps left by House Rules.
Yeah, great stuff. So this is for week 27 across. Of course, let's go to the and that's the bottom half. Let's go subscription as well. Whipping through a couple of numbers, but you can make sense.
All AFL there this week, so the shows were all AFL, but you just go past the top 5, then it's all NRL, so they're not far off the pace there.
All right, which is flipping just now. Yeah, there you go. Quite a different list, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Inside Selling Houses, we talked a bit about that last week, how well that's doing. And the animation show's still doing big business for Foxtel. And Wentworth, that's one of Ian Hogg's shows there.
Great. Oh, of course, yeah. Wentworth there. And number 5 in terms of those ratings. Let's go now to what I think is quite interesting. And this is the bidding or the non-bidding, I suppose you could say, for the Olympics. You know, the whole thing's been fairly lacklustre. Less than $200 million, Seven gets it for. Yeah,
so you would think it's a good pickup, you know. In Seven's case, yeah, look, it's great. They've got 3 of the summer games in Rio, a summer in Tokyo, and the big news is Tokyo is going to be on our time zone, so that's when it's really going to pay off big time for them, so that's the one to have.
So where was everyone else? Why wasn't the bidding more
Well,
ferocious?
That's the other side of it. They go, well, look, it's all this money, you only get 2 weeks a year, every 4 years out of it, or every 2 years if you're counting the winter games, so if you're tight for funds and you're really carefully watching your money, you think, well, we could probably better off spend that money elsewhere, but Seven think, look, we've got a bit of cash, they're doing very well, it's well spent, we get a nice halo effect, and it's a great way to promo the rest of our schedule.
In news this week, there was quite a bit of controversy, and I'm talking internationally as well, about this Oscar Pistorius video by Seven's.
Yeah, look, went out on Seven Sunday night. Yeah. Mark Llewellyn said, look, we didn't obtain this illegally. A lot of people and some of the defence, Oscar Pistorius defence in South Africa said, look, we think they got this video illegally. It's broken agreement we had with the people that made it. It was made on behalf of the defence team. But Seven said, no, look, that wasn't the case. You wonder, sometimes it's like, you know, they say in digital media, look, you build a big audience and worry about monetising it later. If you get a good video, you put it on air, then sort it out later. But Seven says, no, look, this wasn't ill-gotten gains.
Yeah, we're talking first half reviews because 10 Networks kind of got in early on this one. There was, more than one thing, I guess, unconventional about it, though.
Yeah, look, first they went a week early for the real half of the year. We're still in the first half. It finishes Saturday night before we get into the second half. That's when we'll hear from 9 and 10 about their highlights. But look, 10 needed to get out into a noise-free zone, if you like, so it was important to them maybe to get out and talk before the waters got muddy by everyone else shouting. The other unconventional thing was comparisons are usually year on year. 10 was comparing their start to the ratings year, the first 3 months until the second half of the first half, if you like. We're doing a lot better, and the difference was when MasterChef kicked into the schedule. That really turned their fortunes around, and it's been doing great business for them. So their first half, second half of the first half, big differences.
Now, Ian Hogg mentioned the World Cup, and so many of us getting up at 6 a.m. to watch the sport, but that Brazil-Germany game, it was actually the most tweeted sports game or single sports game ever. Huge crowds across the world. Is SBS going to be picking up some good ratings from this, do you reckon?
Yeah, look, it's good news. That's the Twitter data. Now, if you're on Twitter, you follow @Twitter data. You get all these great facts from them all the time. It's just a constant stream of stuff. And this was, they popped this out straight away. So 35.6 million. I think the previous biggest was the Super Bowl earlier this year. But this is a stat that's going to get broken fairly regularly, I think. I mean, it might take a special sport to beat that because it was an amazing event. Yeah. But there's also on that @Twitter data feed, they've got a sort of a hot map, if you like, of the progress through the game, a heat map that shows you parts of the world where Twitter went off. And when those 4 goals came in that 6-minute period, that's the peak, and it just goes crazy.
Yeah, the 29th minute was at the peak. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
And we should mention Neil Whittaker joining the ranks of the departing executives from Bauer Media. So this has been big news.
Yeah, look, had a quick chat to him this morning. The big question is he going to keep his job with the Block as well as, because the Block magazine's produced by Bauer. He said, yeah, definitely. Look, the producers at the Block and Michael Healy and David Gingell certainly going to keep him part of the show. So he will keep up that job, but he's moving across. Vogue Living is the title. He's going to take on his old magazine, which is Bell. He said, look, he doesn't like leaving Bell, but 6-8 years he's been there and he's really up for a new challenge, and he's going to take it on to Vogue Living.
And a couple of other executive changes around the place as well.
Yeah, look, Kylie Rogers moving, used to be at 10, has been off on a bit of leave, and now she's coming back to Mamma Mia in the digital space. So, yeah, some interesting stuff to watch. And Simon Joyce, who'd been on the show before, used to run MCM, changed their name recently to Authentic Media. He's going over to Brand New Media, so it'll be interesting to see what he does there. They're betting big time on HBB TV, which we've talked a little bit about, and there'll be a lot more to talk about that in the oncoming weeks.
And I know we'll be talking about Rupert Murdoch next week, because he's here for the 50th anniversary of the Australian.
Sky Business is all over the Tuesday night event. They'll be broadcasting Mr Murdoch's speech there and a lot of the formalities of the evening. So, yeah, but he's had a big week, though. It's also been the 125th anniversary of the Wall Street Journal, and, of course, he's at the Sun Valley Idaho at the moment with all the moguls from the media space where they have their annual conference. So.
Would like to be a fly on the wall. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. James Manning from Mediaweek. That's it for this week. See you next week.